People don't trust perfect people because being perfect means that you're not really like human. You know what I mean? It's like you're not relatable at all if you're trying to be like this perfect person. So people will trust you less. It's better to just be authentic and like share your flaws and like talk about the things that you're working on. Like for me, I do stand up comedy, right? And I was in London and I did this like show. It was like an open mic show and it just did not go well. The mistake that I made in the show was that forgot to tell them that, like, I'm visiting from America. I said I was American, but they all assumed that I lived in London, and then I was, like, asking a bunch of questions about London, and they were just confused. They were like, "Oh, what? Like, why are you" they didn't say this, right? Because 'Cause they're in the crowd, but they were like, "Oh, why are you asking us this if you live here?" You know what I mean? So they were confused. But so it was a mistake that I made, but I learned from it, you know what I mean? And if I just tried to be perfect all the time, then I would never have even gotten on stage. But I learned from this experience that, like, okay, when I talk to a crowd, I have to be very clear about who I am because you can't really go into a performance and assume that the audience really knows anything about you. You have to kind of like explain to them who you are, right? So it's like that's one thing I learned. I'm not trying to be perfect, but I'm glad that I actually made these mistakes because once I made this mistake, now I can learn from it. Now I can actually improve. Now I can adapt. But so many people they won't even try because they want to be perfect. And it's like this idea of like trying to be perfect will hold you back more than anything else because of course people don't try. They're trying to reach an unattainable goal. Like if the goal is unattainable, then you'll be less likely to try because you're like, "Oh, I'll never hit this." You know what I mean? It's like if your goal was to be a perfect YouTuber, then of course people will give up. Of course they quit because in their head they're like, "Oh, I would be this perfect YouTuber," and then they actually like don't make any videos because they're like, "Oh, it's not perfect." Of course it's not perfect. It's your first video. Your first video is going to be nowhere near perfect. And the best way to even get close to a perfect video is to actually try. It's to actually make videos. Like the more videos you make, the more skills you develop in terms of making videos. You get better speaking on camera, you get better scripting, you get better coming up with ideas. Like these are all skills that you have to develop. So it's like don't focus on being perfect, focus on improving because the more you improve, the closer you can even get to being perfect. And it's an attainable goal. Like the more you work at something, the more meaningful it becomes too, because then it becomes part of your life. And once it becomes this like meaningful thing that you want to do, don't let perfection stop you from doing that. You know what I mean? Like if you find meaning and purpose in making videos, if that's something you love to do, then don't hold yourself back because you're holding yourself back from the life that you could have lived. Like the life that you could have lived is pursuing the things that you truly want to do as much as you possibly can. And the more you do that, I think the better your life gets because the more meaning you feel, and the more meaning you feel, I think the more meaningful your life becomes, right? So if you want to live a meaningful life, if you want to live a life that you really like, just follow the things that are meaningful to you in an honest way. Like just be honest with yourself and try not to lie and try to just be authentic with the things you want to do. And the more you do that, I really think the more meaningful your life becomes. And that because that's what I've experienced in my own life. Like for so many years, I wanted to make videos or do stand up comedy or like travel solo. I'm in Copenhagen right now. I'm traveling solo, right? I wanted to do all these things. Like it was in the back of my mind, but I would never really pursue them because I was like, I think that perfection was one of the things that was holding me back. Because the thing is, like in your head, it can be perfect. You know what I mean? Like in your head, you could have this perfect idea and then you don't have to actually face the reality that it's not going to be perfect. But once you actually make the videos, once you actually do stand-up comedy, once you actually take the acting class, then you have to realize like, damn, I actually have a lot of work to do to even get good at this. Not even perfect, to even get good, like I have to do a lot of work. But of course, it's not going to be like perfect at first or even good at first. Like, you know what I mean? It takes time to do all these things. So don't get discouraged by perfection. So I'm trying to get rid of the glare. I feel like I've been doing this a lot in these like when I've been recording in these parks. But yeah, so you don't focus that, don't make that the goal. And listen, I'm not saying it's gonna be easy to like, completely get rid of the idea of being perfect and actually focusing on progress. I think it'll be difficult, it'll take some time, but don't let that discourage you because even though it won't be easy, it will be worth it. Life's not easy, but it's worth it. Take care.